Gentlemen, welcome to the fourth roster update of NBA 2K23. This is where I cover the brand new rating changes that 2K drops every bi-weekly, essentially. So there's a couple changes here. I want to talk about every single change that I think is absolutely important for every single NBA team and cover it in today's video. If you like that kind of content when it comes to ratings, I do this almost every single day. So please join the pack and subscribe. Let's get it, man. First off, we have is Georges Niang. He goes +1. Shaka, that's the only change for this team, especially when everyone's coming back. But Georges Niang is showing that he is important to the team in terms of just having a role and like producing off the bench. The Milwaukee Bucks, Bobby Portis +1. This isn't necessarily that he's been playing better lately. He's been playing good almost all season. I think it's 2K doesn't like to overreact when players are doing a little bit better. And he's been doing it throughout the entire year that at this point they were like, okay, clearly we need to upgrade this guy. He's been clearly good. And they did it in today's roster update, which is clutch. For the Chicago Bulls, Zach LaVine -1. I thought that was pretty interesting. I did feel like he was playing better for a little bit, but then he started slowing down. It's been a kind of a hard look for the Bulls. It's actually a very disappointing season so far for them. Nikola Vucevic goes +1, so at least he's kind of performing better. But this team was, I'm not saying this team was doomed to like fail, because I do think they have two great players. It's just that when Lonzo Ball, your point guard that's a defender, isn't there, the defense is lacking on this team, and the offense is very linear. I just think that they're struggling for sure. I mean, they have talent, but it might not be good enough in the East. It got a lot better. For the Cleveland Cavaliers, Darius Garland -1. Maybe he's had some inconsistencies and inefficiency issues, but for the most part, I feel like he's been okay. So I thought he was going to get no change. But Evan Mobley got +1. This is one of the better teams in the East, and that's because of Evan Mobley's fantastic defense. He's had an amazing year 2 so far, and looking like one of the more improved players of the year. Maybe not offensively, but defensively for sure. Now Kevin Love -2. Now Kevin Love's an older player. He's going to be going up and down basically every single roster update. Kind of a similar player like Kyle Lowry that goes up and down every roster update. Like when you're older, you're going to have a consistency issue. Some days you're going to be tired. Some days you're going to be a little hurt. I think he's fine. For the Boston Celtics, Al Horford all the way back here -1. I believe this is Al Horford's lowest rating ever from my understanding at an 80 overall. Again, he's 36 years old. No surprise here. We have Blake Griffin +1. He even started some games for the Celtics, actually playing more and actually doing okay in his role. I mean, he's a role player now. He's actually doing a pretty good job of being a roller on a pick and roll situation. So he's doing a pretty good job there. And then Sam Hauser. He's been an amazing three-point shooter for the Celtics, and he actually gets an upgrade of +2, which is a very good one for him. He's deserving of it. He's one of their better three-point shooters on the team. For the Los Angeles Clippers, a big upgrade for John Wall, +2 to an 81 overall. Now, he's been solid. I didn't know he's that solid. I'm surprised they put him up that much. Also, Norman Powell finally gets upgraded to a +1. I still feel like he's in the 80 overall club, me personally. In fact, I do feel like the Clippers, when healthy, are probably one of the better teams in the NBA, and that's because of Norman Powell. Not just Kawhi and Paul George. We know what they can do when healthy, but it's Norman Powell's points per game lately that's been really helping. For the Memphis Grizzlies, we have Ty Jones. So Ty Jones +2. This is another player that goes up and down randomly at roster updates. Not a crazy change for him. In fact, it's more impressive that like they have so many players almost in the 80 overall club for the Grizzlies. And Santi Aldama goes +1. He's been fantastic since day 1 of the season. He's surprised me. His three-point shooting has been insane. Like how tall he is and how lanky he is, and the ability to create a three is actually pretty impressive for him. I mean, he's 7 foot, dude. That's really surprising. He's going to be a pretty good player if he continues to grow this fast. The Atlanta Hawks, we have DeAndre Hunter finally gets that +3 that I've been screaming for 2 years now. He's probably the best defender, at least perimeter defender on the team. And he also can score. I mean, that's more than almost everyone on this team. Clint Capella +1 as well. This team is so weird right now. Trae Young struggling. Murray's hurt. The Hawks were supposed to be a lot better, projected-wise. And maybe when healthy they will be, but as of right now, they're not looking good. For the Miami Heat, Jimmy Butler -1. Now, this has been a controversial take. I've been saying for a little bit that I felt like Jimmy Butler was a little overrated. Now, not the player. I know that Jimmy Butler is a great defender and can score really well when needed. But I do think a 93 overall is really high. I feel like he was a 91 to even a 92. And 2K decided to agree. But the fact that they got no Bam upgrade, I feel like is really shocking. We do get a Tyler Hero +1, a Kyle Lowry -1. So a couple changes here. Tyler Hero's been a good scorer lately. And Max goes -2. I mean, he went +2 last roster update, so he's kind of yo-yoing, right? But for the most part, this team's been pretty consistent. more or less, and I think Tyler Hero is the only one that really got an upgrade here. For the Hornets, it's funny because the Hornets actually have players scoring really well even without LaMelo Ball on the court, with Terry Rozier +2 and Kelly Oubre +2. Sometimes I feel like they should be tied as the best player because LaMelo's been hurt, but still, them getting an upgrade is good because they've been actually scoring like 24 a game in the last 10 games, both of them, for the Utah Jazz. So we have Kelly Olynyk +1. I think the role that he has is clearly showing a great three-point shooter. And THT -1. You know, he kind of did the same thing with the Lakers of starting off really hot and then kind of like slowing down. We're seeing the same thing with the Utah Jazz. He's still good. It's just not that good. This one's a really weird one. A really weird one. So they put Domantas Sabonis above De'Aaron Fox +1, while De'Aaron Fox -1. I don't know how I feel about that. I do still feel like De'Aaron Fox is the best player on this team, even if he's having a cold stretch, or I guess like a less scoring stretch. I don't know if he should be below Domantas. I think they should be tied at minimum, and if anything, De'Aaron Fox should be the better player. So I don't agree with this at all. And then we have Keegan Murray finally gets that +1. I had projected him to be Rookie of the Year, and he's kind of starting to play a lot better. I don't think anyone's expected the Kings to be this good, but Keegan Murray is actually starting to find a role with this team. That's good. The New York Knicks. Jalen Brunson -1 with Julius Randle +2, tying Julius Randle as the best player on the team, and that is correct. I'd even argue that Julius Randle should be +1 over Jalen Brunson as the best player on the team. The Knicks are back. They're 60 in the East. They're firmly 60 in the East, and they're not that far off from the 3rd seed right now. So the Knicks are looking really good. The defense picked up. RJ Barrett got a little better again, +1. He's starting to play better. Emmanuel Quickley +1. For some reason, his defense has been really good. Derrick Rose -1. So a couple changes here. This is the 5 best players that I think the Knicks were really hoping for. The Mitchell Robinson being healthy. You know, having Mitchell Robinson on the court, it helps them a lot because he's a great defender. Like this is looking a little better for the Knicks. Now they don't have a superstar, but if they can have Julius Randle at that all-star level he was 2 years ago, they have a chance of being a good team. The Los Angeles Lakers. Anthony Davis +1. I still feel like he should be tied as the best player on the Lakers, but we're getting there slowly. No Russell Westbrook change, but this time I'm not really surprised. Lonnie Walker +1. That's great because he has been the 3rd leading scorer consistently all season. Austin Reeves goes +2, and still no face scan. It's completely disrespectful for Austin Reeves. You have Patrick Beverley -1 and Kendrick Nunn -1. Both have been terrible this season, and you know the Lakers' woes, you could be pointing at them because they needed Kendrick Nunn to be good, and he hasn't been. The Orlando Magic, the whole team apparently. Paolo Banchero +1, Franz Wagner +2, Markelle Fultz +1, you have Mo Wagner +2, and Mo Bamba +2. I mean, I was telling you guys in my last video that like they're doing like decent. I mean, they're a bad team, right? But like look at all the young talent they have, and they're doing this without Wendell Carter Jr. right now, and they're doing this without Jonathan Isaac to this day, right? And you look at this team, everyone's 24 and younger. Everyone. I mean, this team is supposed to be pretty good if Paolo Banchero ends up being like a superstar, which is possible because he's Rookie of the Year right now. Hey, who knows with this team? Who knows? With the Mavericks, Tim Hardaway Jr. +3. He has been the only person even remotely helping Luka Doncic, who has been struggle. Like Luka Doncic has been great, but this team has been struggling so hard, and they've been losing games. Except for Tim Hardaway Jr., who gets that +3 because he's been genuinely decent and scoring pretty well. For the Brooklyn Nets, we have Patty Mills, who goes +2. Listen, when you're one of the better three-point shot creators in the NBA, you're always going to be yo-yoing around this. And I think that's why Seth Curry goes -2. Same thing with him. Your three-point shooter is going to be yo-yoing. That's no surprise here. Edmund Sumner +2. I remember him on the Pacers being pretty decent. And like the Nets, he was having up and downs, but I think he's starting to play a little better. No change for Cam Thomas is a surprise. I think we all knew that they were underutilizing him, and he's been playing a lot better lately. We'll have to wait and see throughout the year if he gets the upgrade that he deserves. For the Denver Nuggets, so they put Jamal Murray +2 and Aaron Gordon +2. Now, I disagree here. Even though Aaron Gordon deserves a +2, Jamal Murray deserves to be the second best player firmly, and I feel like Jamal Murray is an 84 overall, me personally. I think that needs to change as soon as they can. I think the Nuggets are a way better team than the ratings show, even though Nikola Jokic is one of the best players in the NBA. I think that Jamal Murray's also been very solid, and these other guys are going to have higher upgrades throughout the year. But as of today, I disagree with the ratings. I think it should be higher. Man, for the Pacers, Tyrese Halliburton +1. The Pacers are winning games, bro. It's very weird. Tyrese Halliburton has been one of the better players in the NBA, the best playmaker in the NBA. It's a shocker how good he's been. I'm very surprised. Benedict Mathurin -1. You know, he's a rookie. There's no surprise that he goes up and down. And then Andrew Nembhard. Now, I know that he was scoring a lot in the last 10 games. He is now projected to be the 5th best player on the Pacers. He gets a +3 and kind of solidifies the role. He's 22 years old. That's a good sign for the Pacers to have young guys doing well. You know, all their good players are 26 and younger. That's a good sign. Well, the New Orleans Pelicans, didn't I call it? Zion Williamson +4. You shouldn't be surprised. Zion Williamson has the best record with the Pelicans in the West, and he's been the best player firmly. I know a lot of people were like, no, Brandon Ingram's going to be the best player on this team. And I was like, yeah, y'all forgot how good he was last year before he got hurt. This dude is different. He is a machine. Like, the efficiency he's been putting up is like unheard of, right? If he can continue to do that, I think being MVP is unrealistic, but if he continues that efficiency and the scoring, he's going to go higher than a 92 overall. Now we have Trey Murphy +1. I know a lot of people in the preseason were telling me about Trey Murphy and to watch out for him, and he enters the 80 overall club for the first time in his career. 5 players on the team in the 80 overall club. And then Jose Alvarado +3. He has been a hustler on the Pelicans that is earning his minutes and is actually pretty decent. For the Pistons, we have Bojan Bogdanovic +1. Now, he's probably their leading scorer as of right now, so no shocker here. I mean, someone needs to get buckets on this team, and so he's doing it. But you have some downgrades. Sadiq Bey goes -1 again, which is wild, considering how much potential he had and how much we were expecting him to do well. I mean, he was averaging 16 last year. I mean, it was bad efficiency, but you know, we're expecting better this year, so that's unfortunate. Jaden Ivey also -1. He's a rookie. I would not worry about that too much. But Killian Hayes +6. Man, getting +6 and still being like the 10th best player on your team is wild. But Killian Hayes +6. So he's been actually kind of a crazy thing to say, but he's been one of the better playmaking guards in the NBA as of late. And he's only playing like 25 minutes, not even 20 minutes a game, while having like some of the most assists. That's a big deal. He's been very good. Hopefully he can get a bigger role, gets more minutes, and who knows. Also, I'm not gonna lie, that Detroit jersey kind of goes hard. I hope they still have those. For the Raptors, y'all were begging for Pascal Siakam at least a little bit of an upgrade, and he got it. He has been the only reason the Raptors are even in the conversation for a playoff team, because everyone else has been struggle city. Scotty Barnes goes -1. I'm surprised Fred VanVleet didn't go -5. This team has been wild. Besides OG Anunoby, Pascal Siakam has been carrying. At 89 overall, you could argue even a 90 overall. Pascal Siakam is going off. For the Rockets, not much to say about this team that's just trying to get a #1 pick. Kevin Porter Jr. +1, back into the 80 overall club. Jabari Smith +1, and Bruno Fernandez back here +3. That's it. Kind of the same situation with the Spurs. You have Trey Jones +1, and then Romeo Langford all the way back here +3. Again, nothing to talk about with the Spurs. All right, for the Phoenix Suns, Devin Booker -1. Sure, I think he was already in the right rating in the first place from a 92 to a 90, so I think that's fine. I'm not opposed to that. Chris Paul -2, and I would not be shocked if it keeps going down a lot more. Even though he's a great playmaker, that's all he can do right now. He's been struggling. You have DeAndre Ayton +1, so they're getting close to the second best player on the team. You have Josh Okogie all the way back here at +3. Changing for the Suns, they're a little all over the place, but whenever Cam Johnson comes back, I think they'll be a lot better. We have Poku +1. He ends up as the 3rd best player on the Thunder. I'll be honest with you. When I watched him 2 years ago, I was like, this dude's not going to be good. Like, I just saw him and I was like, that dude just doesn't look like he's going to be good. He's proving me wrong. He's getting a lot better. Almost an 80 overall club member. That's crazy. Jalen Williams +2, and Isaiah Joe +4. I think this is like the 5th time Isaiah Joe's gotten like a +4, and then like a -4, and then a +4. He's been all over the place. Super quick Timberwolves, D'Lo +1. That's it. He's been the only player, in my opinion, that's actually been playing decently well. I mean, Ant's been having good games, but D'Lo's been consistent, so there you go. Okay, for the Blazers, Dame +1. I mean, no shocker. When Damian Lillard is healthy, he was a top 2 point guard in the NBA behind Curry, and he was like a 94 overall. If he can continue to do what he does, would not be shocked if he goes back there. The Blazers have been good. Jeremy Grant finally gets his upgrade to +2. Now, even though this is a good upgrade, what bothers me about 2K is that we've been asking for Anthony Simons and Jeremy Grant to be upgraded every single roster day. And so they upgrade them, but then they're too late because then they keep doing better. So like Anthony Simons and Jeremy Grant should be an 86 overall now. We have to wait another week, and then by then, who knows? Maybe they should be a 90 overall by then, you know? It's just annoying. With the Warriors, Steph Curry -1. Sure, whatever. Clay +1, making him the 2nd best player on the team. And even though he's been scoring very well, I do think that Andrew Wiggins provides the same amount of worth that Klay Thompson does, and I think they should be tied, but whatever. We have Draymond Green -1, and then Kevon Looney +2. The only thing I really agree here is Kevon Looney +2. He's been a demon. Besides that, kind of, I'm not the biggest fan of these changes for the Warriors, but I'll accept them. And finally, for the Wizards. Kristaps Porzingis has been the man. It's a shame that they're losing every single game, but Porzingis was +2. He's been doing very well. The rest of the team hasn't. Kyle Kuzma +1. He's been actually decent all season. And then Will Barton all the way back here, -2. Besides that, no changes for the Wizards. They have been struggling without Bradley Beal and been one of the worst teams. Not one of the worst teams, but one of the more underperforming teams with the roster they had in the NBA. But okay, those are the changes for the 4th roster update of NBA 2K23. Now let me know in the comments what you guys think need to change, because I'm going to make a video about it. And if you like that kind of content, please join the pack and subscribe. I'll see you guys next time.